Hey guys! Today I'm actually going to be showing you guys how I make my DIY calcium powder, and let me just show you guys it really quick. So here is the calcium powder. As of right now, I have used quite a bit of it already, but yeah, I just store it in these like jars. This used to be a jelly jar, strawberry jelly to be exact, and I really like them because they're airtight and they keep your calcium powder pretty much forever. I've never ever had calcium powder go bad. So I know that there's a lot of places in the world where reptile keeping is not big, and it's pretty hard to find reptile supplies in other places in the world other than the US. So sometimes you kind of have to DIY things, whether you can't find calcium powder where you live, or you just really want to make your own, or your turtle had a bad reaction to the commercial one that they sell. You can try making this stuff. But yeah, so there's two ways that you can make calcium powder. So one of the ways that you can make it is using eggshells. So eggshells are 95% calcium carbonate, aka calcium. So since I eat a lot of eggs, I love eggs. I can have them for breakfast, lunch, dinner. I love eggs. Like if I were a animal, I would probably be some type of monitor that eats like eggs all day, every day. But yeah, I eat a lot of eggs. So I don't throw away the shells. I keep them in a dark corner in my kitchen where no one who comes over can see them. You can also ask like your family members, your neighbors, whatever, to save the eggshells for you if you don't eat eggs or you don't eat a big amount of eggs. And I keep piling them on until I have a really good amount to make like a big batch of calcium powder. The first step is you have to clean them. Don't bother rinsing them off after you make your eggs for breakfast or whatever, because the best way is to boil them all at the same time right before you make the powder, because if you clean them beforehand, chances are a lot of the bacteria in the air are going to start to settle in your eggshells as you store them to save a lot of them. Once your water starts to boil, leave it to boil for 10 minutes and then turn it off. Take it out the heat, and then you can, dump your eggs out into like a strainer or something. What I recommend you do is kind of crush them into smaller pieces. That way it'll be easier to powderize them. The second step is you can either let your eggshells air dry for a couple days, or you can cut the time that it will take for them to completely dry, because they need to be 100% dry. Like if they're slightly moist or a little bit damp and you try to powderize them, what happens is it's not gonna powderize properly, and if it does at all, you're gonna have moldy powder, and that's bad. Very, very bad. Once you boil your eggshells, you can either let them air dry, or you can take them out to the sun, like in a cookie sheet or something, and it will probably cut the amount of time that it takes them to dry significantly. So the next step is to powderize your eggshells. So to powderize the eggshells, what you can use is a electric coffee grinder, which I would imagine you would probably get a finer powder, or you can do what I did, since I don't have a electric coffee grinder. I don't have a coffee grinder at all. Like not even one of those old-fashioned manual ones. But I just use my blender. It does take a little bit longer. You don't get like such fine powder. It's like kind of like sand, but it's not bad. It's still powdery. Like I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, it just takes longer, but it does the job just fine. Okay, so here is the eggshells, all nice and dry. And what I'm going to do now is we're just going to basically put them on the blender and turn it into powder. Okay, so here it is, all powdered up. And okay, the best advice I'm gonna give you guys if you're gonna do this is don't fill the blender up to the top. I actually had a really hard time, and I ended up having to take out half, the top half, and put it back in here, and then that made everything go so much smoother. So this is the best part. I don't know why I love opening this up. That's like awesome. I feel like a wizard. So yeah, and it's not hot or anything. This is just all the powder getting mixed into the air. So let's wait for that to rise a little bit, and ta-da, you are left with calcium powder. And now it's all over my fingers. Great. Okay, so what you can do is, if you want real like all powder, like there are some bigger chunks in there at the top. So what you can do with that is you can get any sort of strainer and dump the powder stuff on top. And then sift it so that the smaller stuff falls through. And then you're left with the really big chunks, and you can just dump them back in the blender and then blend them again. So yeah, I'm just gonna put them back here in the bag. And I'm just gonna strain everything, just because I really do want fine powder. And then you're left with really nice calcium powder, basically. once you get through all your eggshells, you end up with this. So yeah, that was one way to make calcium powder. The other way to make calcium powder is by using Cuttlebone. If you guys own turtles, because this is specifically known in the turtle community, Cuttlebones are a great source of calcium for turtles. They're actually found in the bird section in pet stores because, you know, they're most known for birds, but they're a excellent source of calcium as well. I mean, and they're really cheap. So this is a great alternative for any vegans out there who don't eat eggs, or if you want to really make your calcium powder like today, like right now, but you don't have time to wait like a month or two to gather eggshells, go buy like 20 or 30 or 50 or 500 Cuttlebones, and they're actually really cheap. And if you buy them online, they're even cheaper. And if you buy them in bulk, they're even cheaper. I didn't bother peeling off the backing. You can take your time peeling off the backing for all those Cuttlebones. And I mean, I only used one to kind of show you guys how to do it, and I was lazy to take the backing off of one. But you guys decide how much of an overachiever you want to be. Okay guys, so that's one way to make calcium powder. The other way is using these. Oops. For anyone who doesn't know, this is a Cuttlebone, and this one still has the backing on it. I'm not really gonna bother peeling it off because it'll just powderize anyways. Yeah, the only thing I'm gonna do is drop it in the blender and do the same thing as with the eggshells. And same thing, I'm just gonna run it through the strainer. So as you can see, it turns into pretty much nothing. So if you're gonna go with this method, you're gonna need a lot of Cuttlebones. And I'm just gonna straighten them really quick. Okay, so here we have the bigger chunks, and I'm just gonna blend those again. But here is the Cuttlebone calcium powder, and it's actually a lot finer than the eggshell powder, but I mean, they're both fine still. So what you can do is you can either make all the calcium powder out of Cuttlebones or all the calcium powder out of eggshells, or you can do what I do and mix both of them up together. So what I like to do is I like to make both kinds, and then I mix them up together just to kind of improve the quality of the calcium powder, but that's personal preference really. And yeah, I'll give this a really good shake in the end. And yeah, there we go. We have two different kinds of calcium powder for reptiles or human consumption. It's up to you. Okay, so I am officially done. This is all the powder that I got from all those eggshells. And I just wanted to show really quick the color difference between the eggshell powder. It's a lot lighter, and then the Cuttlebone powder is a little bit brownish, tannish. So yeah, it looks pretty nice. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take a butter knife and I'm just gonna give everything a really good mix. To incorporate the Cuttlebone powder with the eggshell powder, and I only used one Cuttlebone because that's all I had laying around. But you know, it doesn't really matter. And ta-da! We made eggshell powder, and excuse that I'm making food for my mealworms, but yeah, here's the eggshell powder. So yeah guys, that's how I make my calcium powder, and I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, please give my video a big fat thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Also, I would really appreciate if you guys would like my Facebook page. It's always linked in the description of all my videos. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good night or a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! I'm gonna be doing the cinnamon challenge. Dang it. Okay, there we go. So, woo. So yeah, here goes nothing. So really quick, I just hope that you guys enjoyed this video of me putting together my turtle's winter enclosure. So yeah, enjoy!
Okay, so here is the previous setup that I have for my turtles, and